But it was through these young men's dreams, following their heart, their love for God, that has made 100% of this happen tonight.
We are living, surely living in the days He speaks about. All these things we now are having every day. Let's be ready for His coming. Let us meet Him with a shout. For He tells us in His word, watch and pray. For He tells us in His word.
When it first started out, there was excitement and thinking, but can we do this? This isn't possible. And then I revert back to no, this can happen. We can make it happen. It's all about God and having the faith that He can make this event happen. And I got to feel being negative and just having stressful moments and thinking, okay, this isn't gonna work. And I'd go home and I'd pray about it, and Trampus would say, hey, Mom, we need to pray, so we'd pray. And it came to the point that I was letting reality of the world get in the way and not just giving it to God and having more faith in God that this could happen. And then I finally decided, you know what? Reality is God. It's not all this world craziness, that we deal with every day. Reality is God. And I set my faith right there that this is going to work.
Talk about your feelings when you feel no one listens. I'll be the first to admit it. You ain't asking for help, so you drown in your tears, live in your fears. You think no beating you a sickness, and we gon' call it.
Describe faith to a little kid is you don't see the air, but you feel the air, you feel the wind and all that. It's, as an adult, you have to know that what you're doing is God's will, and you can always have that peace on the inside.
Rome's been kind of like a bunch of young kids as far as the way I would see things. I mean, they came to me at the beginning of June and said, hey, we want to make this concert happen, and we're going to do it in August. And I said, okay, August of 2015. And they're like, no, August of this year. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Because it's like, this doesn't happen. We plan for these things way in advance. And so when they told me, I was like, okay, yeah, it can be done, but it's going to take a lot of work on a lot of people's parts. And, being in this business and seeing this stuff happen throughout the years, I still had my doubts. And so to see them, to see how this has all come together and how God has just provided money time and time again and the resources that they've needed to make this happen has just been absolutely incredible, because you don't pull something like this off in 2 months. It just doesn't happen. They're like, oh yeah, we can make it happen, and all the rest of us are stressing out really hard going, no, this is not, we got too many things happening here. But they never lost faith, they never lost sight of anything, and they're just like, no, we're going to do it, this is it. And so faith like a child is kind of the way I would kind of describe that with them, and the fact that they saw the vision, they believed that God was going to make it happen, and the rest of us had to fall in line with that.
I think the Rome boys have a lot of fire in them to push, and wanted this to happen in the beginning. Derek had said all along that he's had this vision of Rome being in a big place and having this big event, and I feel God is present, and His presence here, I feel like it's going to spread. I'm ready for it to spread.
A lot of people, they say they want revival, but I think that this step of faith is going to be a spark, a God spark, that kind of just ignites the revival in our town.
I'm excited to see what's going to come in the future at this point, because it's like, we've seen God work so incredibly in this short amount of time. It's like, okay, these boys want to do a lot more. They've got big hearts and a huge vision. And it's like, okay, where can we go from here? You know, is it going to be here in Ava? Is it going to be somewhere else? You know, who are we going to bring with us on the next go-around? You know, how is this going to impact America and, you know, who knows, maybe beyond.
Jesus is stronger. Our shame was great, but all burned out. Everybody shout, hey, here we go. Shout, hey, out of yellow, hey, out of yellowtown. You wanna pray? Come on and fly with a man. I'm a lockdown, the fire town. Wanna be free? Come on and fly with a man.
I just want to encourage you, don't think of whatever that you do that can't be used by God. If you just give everything to Him, just watch what He will do with your life.